Daf Tzadi Ches Amud Beis, the Mishnah. Zok the Mishnah, Chabura Shavet Pischa. If there was a Chabura, they lost their Korban Pesach. Va'omar le'echad, and the members of the Chabura said to one of the members, say Uvakesh Ushchait Olenu, go and look for the lost animal, and go and shecht it for us. They were manim as a shaliach to go search for it and shecht it on their behalf. And he went ahead and he found it and he shechted it. And they also, now they were afraid that he wouldn't find it, so as an insurance policy, they went ahead and they bought another animal and they also shechted it. So they both of these animals were shechted. If the shaliach, if his animal was shechted first, then he eats from the one that he shechted, and the other members of Chabura also eat with him on the one that he shechted. Now, if they shechted, the other members shechted theirs first, they don't eat from the shaliachs, they eat from the one that they shechted, and he eats from his. So what's underlying this? So as Rashi explained and is elaborated by the Mordechai, the pshat is as follows. If they may appointed this person to be a shaliach to go find and search for the Korban Pesach and shecht it for them, so they're still part of the Chabura, and he's a shaliach for them. Now the fact that they bought another animal, that's just an insurance. That doesn't mean that they're withdrawn from the Chabura. They're still part of the Chabura. So if he found the animal and he shechted it first, they're part of the Chabura, he shechted on their behalf, they yaitzu with the Korban Pesach and they eat from it. However, if they went ahead and shechted theirs first, the act of shchita is considered to be withdrawing from the Chabura. If they already shechted their animal, that means that they're withdrawing from the original Chabura. They're not part of that. And now this is their Korban Pesach. So just buying the animal, that's not withdrawing from the Chabura. They're still part of the Chabura. But if they shechted it, then they've withdrawn from the Chabura. So if the one that he found, he shechted it first, they're still part of the Chabura. They eat together with him. If they shechted theirs first, they withdrawn from that Korban Pesach. Now they eat from the one that they shechted. But the shaliach, he's part of the original Korban Pesach. He hasn't withdrawn from it. So he eats from his, and they eat from theirs. But if we don't know which one was first, or they were at the same time, and as Amiri explains, that we hold that it's efshar l'tzamtzim, so therefore it wasn't mamash at the exact same time. It just appears that it's the same time, but we don't know. In effect, one was first, and we don't know which one is first. So if we don't know which one is first, either that one actually was first, they were both at the same time, but it appears that they're at the same time, but in reality one was first, then we say as follows. He eats from his. Now they can't eat. They can't eat the Korban Pesach because if his was first, so Shalich was first, then that means that they're part of that Chabur, and they eat from his. But if theirs was first, if they can't eat from his, they've withdrawn from his, they have to eat from theirs. So they don't know which is their Korban Pesach. They can't eat from it. So they can't eat at all. So therefore he eats from his. Theirs has to be taken out to be burnt because it's a sofek whether it is a Korban Pesach or whether they were already yaitze with the shaliachs, and therefore it's a Korban Pesach. There's no one in the Chabur and it's possible. So they can't eat it. It can't be eaten and it has to be taken out to the basis reif to be burnt. However, in any event, the Peturim losses Pesach Sheni. But they're Peturim from Pesach Sheni because Memanashach, they were Yaitza with the Korban Pesach. Either they were Yaitza with the Shaliachs or they're Yaitza with the one that they shechted. So they're Yaitza with the Korban Pesach. Now they can't eat it because we don't know which is theirs, but that doesn't prevent them, that's not Me'akev from being Yaitza with the Korban Pesach. So Memanashach, they're Yaitza either with his or with theirs, but they can't eat because they don't know which one is theirs. So therefore, however, they're Peturim Pesach Sheni. They're already Yaitzu the Korban Pesach. A variation of that case is Omer Lahen, if the Shaliach, he went to search for the Korban Pesach, and he said to the other members of the Chabura, Im echati tz'u v'shachtu alai, if I'm late, if I delay in coming back, go and shacht for me. Now, in this case, it's somewhat the reverse of the previous case. He made them a Shaliach, but in this case, they did not make him a Shaliach. So they didn't make him a Shaliach to go and search for it and shacht on their behalf. So what happened is he went and he found the original Korban Pesach and he shachted, but they, not knowing, went ahead and they bought another animal and they shachted for themselves a Korban Pesach. Now, they did not make him a Shaliach, so therefore they're not Yaitza with his, no matter which one was shachted first, he's not a Shaliach for them. So therefore, im shalahem nishchad rishon, if theirs was shachted first, hein oichle mishalahem v'hu oichle imoyim. If theirs was shachted first, so the fact that he told them, shacht for me, he made them a shaliach. So if theirs was shachted first, he was yoitza with them, they're yoitza with them, because that's their Korban Pesach. They didn't make him a shaliach, that's their Korban Pesach. If theirs was shachted first, he also, it's the Shaliach's Korban Pesach, and they both can eat from that Korban. He eats with them. However, if the Shaliach, he shachted his first, he eats from his, because the fact that he shachted it means that he's not part of their Chabura. They eat from theirs. And if it's not known, or it was at the same time, they eat from theirs because they certainly are not part of his. They weren't Memanim as a Shaliach, so they eat from theirs. But he can't eat with them because he doesn't know which one is first. Perhaps he shechted his first, and that means that that's his Korban Pesach. So in this case, his is the one that has to be taking the basis Sreifa. But just like in the previous case, in this case over here, he's potter from Pesach Sheni because Memamshach is Yaitza. He just doesn't know with which one, so he can't eat either one, but he's Yaitza, so he's potter from Pesach Sheni. If he said to them, shacht for me, and they said to him, they were mana him as a shaliach, so they were both mana each other. They all can eat from the first one, and because they appointed him as a shaliach, so they eat from the first one. But if you don't know which one was shachted first, they both have to be taken out of the basis shreifa, because since they both were mana each one for a shaliach, we were mana each other for a shaliach, then we say that, well, there was a suffix, which one is their Korban Pesach? We don't know which one is their Korban Pesach because the one that was shechted first is theirs, but since we don't know which is shechted first, then neither of them can eat from the Korban Pesach, and therefore they have to be taken, both of them have to be taken out, l'beis shreifa. But as Rashi explains, they're all part from Pesach Sheni because Mamanashach, they are Yaitza, they're Yaitza with the first one. But it can't be eaten because we don't know which the first one is, but they're part from Pesach Sheni. If neither one made a shaliach, he didn't make them a shaliach, they didn't make him a shaliach, they're not responsible for each other, no one has a claim on each other, and each one eats from the one that they shechted. Now the next section of the Mishnah talks about a different scenario. It talks about a case of tarubas. If you have two groups, their animals got intermingled. So we don't know which animal belongs to which chabur. So you have two Korban Pesach, but we don't know which animal belongs to which group. One group takes one of the behemoths, and the other group takes another one. So now they each one have one behema, one of the korbanos, but they don't know if it's really theirs or not. So what do they do next? So a member of one of the groups, so one of the chaboras, comes over to the other group, and a member of the group, this group, goes to the other. So from chabura A, one member goes to chabura B. From chabura B, one member comes to chabura A. And this is what they say. So the members of the group say that this behema that they took, if it's really their korban pesach, if it's really theirs, then if it's shalanu pesach yadecha mishulch mishulcha, you, this new member that came over to the group, they say to him, then you withdraw from yours and you join us with this. Venim nis al shalanu, and you register with ours. But if this is really not ours, it really is from yours, with the behema from your chabura, then the opposite, yadenu mishulch mishalonu, we withdraw from ours, v'nimninu al shalach, and we register with yours. So the way Rashi explains it, that the point underlying principle over here is that the korban pesach cannot be left ownerless. It can't be left at any one time, even for a moment, without an owner, without a member of the chabura. So therefore, they have to ensure that there's always an owner. Therefore, a member of Group B goes over to Group A. And so they say that if this is our korban pesach, it's ours. We remain in our chabura. You withdraw from yours. So B, he withdraws from his chabura B, but you have the other members of chabura B, so nothing is left ownerless. Now, if they say, if this is yours, then we withdraw from ours. Now, we withdraw from ours, now, therefore, they're withdrawing from Korban A. However, they have one of their members that switched over to the other group, to Group B, who did not withdraw. So even if they withdraw and they join the new member who's come over from Group B, but their Korban is not left ownerless because one of their members is in the other Chabura who hasn't withdrawn. And so the similar scenario exists with Group B. Group B says the same thing. They say that if this is the animal that we took is ours, we're over here where this is, we remain with our Chabura, you come over to us. If this is yours, we come over to you. Now, so far they've withdrawn from theirs, but it's not left ownerless because they have a member from Group B that came over to Group A who didn't withdraw. So therefore, it's never left ownerless. And similarly, if you have 5 chaburas which have 5 members in each, or 10 chaburas with 10 members in each, then there is one goes over to another chabura. So if you have 5 chaburas of 5 members, then you have from, let's say, chabura A has 5 members. 4 of the members go to the other chaburas, and 1 remains. Then from chabura B, 1 remains, and 4 go into all the other chaburas, etc. And then that you repeat that with all the chaburas. So in essence, you're going to have 5 new chaburas, which are made up of 1 of the originals and 4 new people. Then they do the same thing. They take 1 person from each group. They say the same declaration. And therefore, each one says to the other members of the chabura, he says, if this is mine, if the animal that I took is mine, I remain with mine, and you come over to me. If this is yours, then it's one of yours, then I withdraw from mine and come over to you. Then they repeat it within the chabura, they repeat the same process. Number 2, the second member of the chabura says the same thing, that if this is mine, then I remain with mine, and if it's yours, then I come over to you. And they repeat it and they go, and in each chabura they go in the same cycle and with the same declarations, and therefore at the end of the day they will all have been part of one korban pesach, and none of the korban pesach will be left ownerless. 2 people, you have just 2 individuals, their korban pesach got intermingled. Each one takes one of the korbanos, he picks one of the behemoths. Now here, since there's only 2 people, you have to bring in a new person into it to ensure that there's not going to be a korban pesach that's left ownerless. So each one brings a third party, someone from the shuk, to join in with him. So the original owner comes over to the Pesach, to one animal, and the other original one comes over to another animal. And this is what they say. If this animal that now I have in front of me is mine, then they say, then you withdraw from yours and you join with me. And if the Pesach is yours, then then I withdraw from mine and I join with you. So therefore they say, whoever this is, if this is mine, then I stay here, you come over to me. Now if Reuven, for instance, Reuven says, if this is mine, you come over to me, says to Shimon, you come over to me. Now, what about the animal Shimon, Shimon's korban, is going to be left ownerless? No, because he's memanech min shuk, and he has another person from the shuk that is now he brought into his chabura, and therefore he will be the owner of that other animal. And then Shimon says, if this animal that I have, that I've drawn, is mine, then I stay with it, and you, Reuven, come over to me. Well, how will Reuven's korban not be left ownerless? No, because Reuven also brought in someone from the shuk. So therefore, Memanashach, they will have the korban Pesach, and at no time will the korban Pesach be left ownerless.